Chelsea are coming for everyone this summer, and we need to talk about it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you woke up and saw three massive transfer stories all pointing in the same direction on the same morning? Three names, three moves, all leading to one club, Chelsea. Right now, as we sit here in April 2026 with the summer window creeping closer every day, Chelsea are making moves that could completely change how this club looks next season. We are talking about a world-class goalkeeper, one of the most exciting strikers in world football, and a young Argentine midfielder who has quietly become one of the most interesting players in Europe. And all three of them are being linked to Stamford Bridge with serious intent. So let us sit down, break all of this down properly and talk about what it could mean for us as Chelsea supporters. Because this is not just transfer gossip. This feels real. And honestly, it is getting exciting. The goalkeeper problem that has been going on too long. Before we even get into the exciting attacking names, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Chelsea's goalkeeping situation has been a mess for a while now, and if you have been watching us this season, you already know it. Robert Sanchez has had his moments, but the mistakes have been too costly, too frequent, and too visible. The numbers back this up. Chelsea have managed only 4 clean sheets in 20 league games, and a good chunk of the blame for that sits squarely with the goalkeeping department. Philip Jorgensen was supposed to offer competition and an upgrade, but he has had his own struggles too, including a poor showing against PSG and time lost to injury. It has not been good enough, and everyone knows it. So who is the answer? According to reports from French outlet Foot Mercato, the name being talked about most seriously right now is Gregor Kobel from Borussia Dortmund. And if you have not been keeping a close eye on Kobel this season, let me give you some context, because this man has been absolutely outstanding. Kobel is 28 years old, Swiss international, and has kept 16 clean sheets in 41 appearances for Dortmund this season. He has the best clean sheet percentage of any goalkeeper who has played at least 10 league games in the Bundesliga. His save percentage sits at 73% compared to Sanchez's 69%. He has more clean sheets than any other keeper in Germany's top flight. The guy is not just good, he is genuinely elite. Here is the interesting part, though. Chelsea are not the only ones watching. Newcastle United are also tracking Kobel seriously, and Bayern Munich want him too, as a long-term replacement for the legendary Manuel Neuer. So this is not going to be easy, and it is not going to be cheap. Dortmund have a contract with Kobel running until 2028, and reports suggest they would want something close to 60 to 70 million euros to even consider letting him go. Now, here is where it gets interesting for us. Some reports from Germany suggest that Kobel himself might be open to a new challenge. He has been at Dortmund for 4 years and recently described it as an incredible time. That kind of language from a player often signals that they are ready to move on. Chelsea have reportedly held exploratory talks with his representatives, and there is real interest on both sides. But let us be honest with ourselves here. Can Chelsea guarantee him the one thing he cares about most? Champions League football. Right now, that is not a certainty for us. Newcastle can arguably offer him more guaranteed playing time and a cleaner squad setup. Chelsea already have multiple goalkeepers on the books. Kobel knows all of this, and he is reportedly the type of player who wants stability, not a crowded squad. So the question has to be asked, if Chelsea want Kobel, what happens to Sanchez? What about Jorgensen? The club needs to clean up the goalkeeper situation before they can seriously pitch this move to him, and they need to do it quickly because Bayern Munich and Newcastle are not going to wait around. What do you think, Chelsea fans? Is Kobel the right goalkeeper for us, or should we be looking at other options? Drop your thoughts, because this is a conversation worth having. Julian Alvarez and the move that could change everything. Now we get to the one that has really set pulses racing, Julian Alvarez, former Manchester City player, World Cup winner with Argentina, and one of the most complete forwards in the world right now. He left City in 2024 because he wanted to play every single week without sharing the spotlight with Erling Haaland. He went to Atletico Madrid, and since then, he has been absolutely brilliant. The numbers at Atletico tell the whole story. Alvarez has scored 45 goals and registered 15 assists in 98 appearances for Diego Simeone's side. He has been involved in a goal almost every other game and has shown he can do it in big moments too. In a recent Champions League clash against Tottenham, he opened the scoring and then set up a second goal. Even though Atletico ended up losing on the night, they still went through on aggregate, and Alvarez was right in the middle of it. Both Arsenal and Chelsea had scouts at that Tottenham game. Both clubs have been in regular contact with Alvarez's representatives, and now the picture is becoming clearer. His preferred destination is Barcelona, but Barcelona have serious financial problems. They cannot simply go out and spend 100 million euros on a striker the way they might want to. That uncertainty opens a very real door for Chelsea and Arsenal. What makes the Chelsea angle particularly interesting is this. Sources close to the player say that if a move to Barcelona does not happen, Alvarez would prefer to stay in London, not Manchester, London. Chelsea and Arsenal are both in the frame, and from what various reports are saying, Chelsea might actually have an edge here. Pundit and former Scotland international Ally McCoist made a point that a lot of Chelsea fans will appreciate. He said that Alvarez would get more regular playing time at Chelsea than at Arsenal. Look at Arsenal's squad. They have a lot of attacking options competing for the same spots. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard. Alvarez has been there, done that at City with Haaland, and he left specifically because he did not want to be rotating again. Chelsea's attacking setup, while still developing, gives him a clearer path to being the main man. Chelsea have already confirmed a deal to bring in Emmanuel Omega from Strasbourg in the summer, and reports suggest Liam Delap has not hit the heights expected since arriving from Ipswich. If that is the case, Chelsea are going to need a proper number 9. And if you are going to solve that problem, you might as well aim for the very best available. Alvarez is exactly that. Now, for the honest part, this will cost serious money. Atletico Madrid have a release clause of 500 million euros in Alvarez's contract, which is obviously just meant to scare people off rather than reflect reality. The actual transfer fee being discussed is somewhere above 100 million euros, with some Spanish reports suggesting Atletico could demand as much as 150 million euros. That is a massive commitment for a single player, even by Chelsea standards. But think about what you are getting. A 26-year-old who knows the Premier League, who is in the best form of his career, who brings goals, assists, pressing, and leadership. He is exactly the kind of player you build a project around. And Chelsea have been trying to build something special with a young squad. Alvarez could be the final piece that makes this team look like serious title contenders. Here is the question for the Lucy Chelsea community. Should Chelsea go all in for Alvarez, even if it means spending over 100 million euros? Or should the club prioritize other areas and settle for a cheaper striker option? This is a real debate, and I want to hear where you stand on it. Valentine Barco, the quiet deal that could be done already. While everyone has been focused on the big, flashy names, something quieter has been happening in the background. Valentine Barco, the 21-year-old Argentine midfielder currently playing for Strasbourg, appears to be on his way to Chelsea. And if you have not been watching him this season, you really should start. The backstory here is genuinely fascinating. Barco came through the Boca Juniors Academy in Argentina, then moved to Brighton in early 2024. It did not work out. He went on loan to Sevilla, and that did not work out either. It looked like his European adventure might fizzle out before it ever really got going. Then something important happened. He joined Strasbourg on loan in early 2025. Liam Rossignol was the manager there at the time, and Rossignol did something clever. He converted Barco from a left-back into a central midfielder. That one positional change unlocked a completely different player. Barco thrived. He became one of the most creative midfielders in League One. Strasbourg eventually made the deal permanent last summer for around £8.7 million. Since then, he has registered 9 assists across all competitions and has become one of the first names on the team sheet. Then things got even better. Barco was called up to the Argentina national team during the most recent international break, his first call-up since his debut back in March 2024. He came on as a substitute in a 5-0 win over Zambia and scored the final goal. He is back on the radar of the national team setup at 21 years of age. That is a big deal. Now, here is where the Chelsea connection comes in and why this feels different to most transfer links. Strasbourg and Chelsea are both owned by Blueco, the same ownership group. They have been using Strasbourg as a feeder club for a while now, developing players and then bringing them across when the time is right. Emega is already confirmed as coming over this summer. Mamadou Sarr is another player who has made that same journey. Reports from respected journalist Fabrizio Romano now indicate that Barco has agreed personal terms with Chelsea and has given the green light to the move. Argentine journalist Augusto Cesar has also reported that Chelsea pushed hard in the aftermath of the international break to get an agreement in place, partly because Bayern Munich were also circling. Chelsea moved quickly and reportedly have their deal. Now, to be fair, Romano himself later clarified on his YouTube channel that nothing is fully completed yet. Chelsea are closely monitoring Barco and are seriously considering signing him, but a final agreement has not been signed and sealed. So let us not get too far ahead of ourselves, but the direction of travel is clear. Chelsea want him. He wants Chelsea. Liam Rossignol knows him personally from Strasbourg and believes he is ready for a bigger stage. The ownership connection makes it straightforward from a negotiation standpoint. Why does Barco make sense for Chelsea? A few reasons. First, Chelsea's midfield is loaded with defensive-minded players. Caicedo, Santos, Lavia, Esugo. They are all excellent, but Barco offers something genuinely different. He is a creative midfielder who can play as a number 10, generate chances, and unlock defenses. The only other player in that mold at Chelsea right now is Enzo Fernandez, and with question marks over Fernandez's future at the club following some controversy during the international break, having Barco as backup or even a replacement makes a lot of sense. Second, the price is sensible. Barco is valued at around €35 million right now. For a player who is 21, has shown serious form, is already back in the Argentina squad, and has a manager at Chelsea who knows him inside out, that is good value. This is the kind of deal Chelsea should be doing regularly, using the Strasbourg pipeline cleverly and picking up talented young players before they become expensive. Third, and this one matters more than people realize, Barco already knows Rossignol. There is a trust there, a comfort. When a young player moves to a new club, the relationship with the manager can make or break the transition. Barco already knows what Rossignol wants from him, how he plays, and what his role would be. That head start is worth a lot. One thing to watch here, though. If both Chelsea and Strasbourg qualify for the same European competition next season, UEFA rules could force Strasbourg into what is called a blind trust. That means the two clubs could not do direct business with each other. So timing matters, and Chelsea needs to get this done before the end of the season to avoid any complications. What do you make of Barco as a signing for Chelsea? Is this the kind of young creative talent we need in the middle of the park? Or do you think Chelsea should be spending that money on more experienced, proven quality instead? Let us know your thoughts. The bigger picture. What does this all mean for Chelsea? When you step back and look at all three of these moves together, something becomes very clear. Chelsea under Liam Rosenior are trying to build a squad that can genuinely compete for trophies, not just play nice football, actually win things. Think about it. A world-class goalkeeper who solves one of the most glaring problems in the team. A proven goal scorer who knows the Premier League and is in the prime of his career. A young creative midfielder who can grow into one of the best in England over the next few years. If Chelsea manage to land all three of these players, this squad looks completely different. More balanced, more dangerous, more capable. Now here is the reality check we all need. Transfer rumours do not always become transfers. Chelsea have been linked with Kobel for over a year now without anything being finalised. The Alvarez deal would cost an enormous amount of money and faces serious competition from Barcelona and other top clubs. Even the Barco deal, which looks the most advanced of the three, is not officially over the line yet. But the intent is there. The groundwork is being laid. And for the first time in a while, it feels like Chelsea have a proper sporting project with a clear vision. Rosenior knows what he wants this team to look like. The sporting directors are active. The Blue Co pipeline is working. The contacts are being made. There is also a financial consideration here that we cannot ignore. Chelsea have spent enormous sums over the last few years, bringing in Kobel for up to 70 million euros, Alvarez for over 100 million euros, and Barco for around 35 million euros would represent another massive outlay. The club will almost certainly need to sell players too. Names like Enzo Fernandez, who is reportedly attracting interest from Real Madrid and PSG, could fund a big chunk of this business if his departure is handled correctly. And the Champions League question looms over everything. Kobel wants it. Alvarez wants it. If Chelsea do not qualify for Europe's biggest competition this season, the ability to attract these players drops significantly. Newcastle, who are competing strongly for Champions League spots, would suddenly become a much more attractive destination for someone like Kobel. This is why the remaining weeks of the league season matter more than ever right now. Here is a bigger question for this community. Do you think Liam Rosenior is the right manager to take Chelsea forward if the club does land these kinds of players? He has shown promise, but managing a squad with Kobel, Alvarez and Fernandez all in the same building is a completely different challenge to what he has faced before. Can he handle it? Why Chelsea fans should be cautiously excited. Look, we have all been here before. Transfer windows full of links and rumours that go nowhere. Big names attached to Chelsea that end up somewhere else entirely. We have seen it enough times to know not to get carried away. But there is something different about this batch of stories. First, all three have multiple credible sources behind them. Foot Mercato, Fabrizio Romano, Team Talk, and ESPN have all touched on at least one of these three moves. These are not random blogs posting clickbait. Second, the logic behind each signing makes total sense for where Chelsea are right now. Goalkeeper upgrade, proven striker, creative midfielder. These are the three most obvious areas of improvement for this squad. Third, the Blue Co system is actually working. Strasbourg has given Chelsea real value through the Omega deal and potentially the Barco deal. The ownership is not just spending money randomly. There is a structure here, a plan. And fourth, the players themselves are open to Chelsea. Alvarez has reportedly told his people he would be happy to go to London. Barco has already agreed personal terms according to Romano. Even Kobel, who could go to Bayern, is being tracked seriously and has shown willingness to explore his options. So yes, be cautious. Not every link becomes a deal, but also allow yourself to feel a little bit of excitement, because if even two of these three happen, Chelsea go into next season looking like a genuinely different proposition. Final thoughts. The summer is coming and Chelsea means business. Here is where we land. 3 stories, three players, three areas where Chelsea desperately need improvement, and all signs pointing to a summer where the club is going to try and make serious moves. Gregor Kobel would give Chelsea the goalkeeper they have been missing for years, a proper top-level shot stopper who commands his area, makes saves when it matters, and does not hand free goals to opponents. At 28, he is in his prime and ready to be the number one at a big club. Julian Alvarez would give Chelsea a striker capable of scoring 20-plus goals a season in the Premier League. A player who lifts the entire team, who can be the face of the attacking line, and who brings a winning mentality built through years of success at City and with Argentina. You do not find players like that every summer. Valentine Barco would give Chelsea something different in midfield. A creative spark. A player who sees passes others do not, who can play the killer ball, and who at 21 is only going to get better. And he comes with the bonus of already knowing Rosinho and the Chelsea project from his time at Strasbourg. The summer window is still a few months away, but the pieces are already moving. Chelsea are making calls, agents are flying to London, clubs are receiving offers, and right at the centre of all of it is a club that has decided it is time to stop building and start winning. As always, here at Lucy Chelsea Analysis, we will be tracking every single development as it happens. So make sure you are staying connected, dropping your thoughts in the comments and sharing this post with any Chelsea fan who needs to know what is going on. One last question to leave you with. If you could only pick one of these three signings for Chelsea this summer, which one would you choose and why? Kobel, Alvarez or Barco? There is no wrong answer, but there is definitely a right one. Let the debate begin. KTBFFH.